Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Let's Talk It Out podcast. I'm your host, Alec Schultz, aka Trey Busy. I want to thank everybody who came in and tuned in live on Thursday of last week. Thursday evening, I had Celicia Shand on. She was a very, very great guest. I very much appreciate her taking time out of her very busy schedule. She actually had a baby shower over the weekend, so hopefully everything went well for her. I'm looking forward to talking to her again in the future. I want to thank everybody who subscribed to the episode, subscribe to the podcast in general, no matter where you listen to it at. I really do appreciate everybody who does that. It takes time out of their day to listen to the podcast because I created the content for, just for everybody to have an outlet, somewhere that people can come listen, somewhere people can come have conversation. That's just the whole purpose of the Let's Talk It Out podcast. So you guys are probably wondering, why am I doing a podcast in the morning? Usually it's in the evening. But the reason why I'm doing my podcast in the morning today is because I have a very special guest, and I wanted to accommodate, for her to be able to come on. So my guest for today is none other than Miss Warda Waseem, all coming all the way from Pakistan to have a conversation with me on the Let's Talk It Out podcast. How are you doing this evening?
Yeah, hello, I'm very good. Thank you so much. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. I woke up early. I had my coffee. We had a couple little technical issues. I guess that was medium tested. But here we are. I'm very happy that we're able to sit down and have this conversation still because I was looking forward. I mean, we've been going back and forth about having this conversation. I told you I will accommodate whatever time you need to come on just to get you on.
Yeah, that's very kind of you that you've been helping me for whenever I'm available. I genuinely appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. You are most certainly welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right into your water. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so right now I am 20 years old and I just got married. I'm a student of mass communication and I do a job which I just recently left for so many reasons. One of the biggest reasons was maybe because they didn't wanted me to work because I got married. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm looking for a job again, so that's okay. I'm not so hopeless.
So you say your job didn't want you to work because you were married, is what you're saying?
Yeah, that just left me in a complete, I was in shock that I cannot work because I got married and they didn't wanted any female who got married because they believe the work will suffer to them. That's the reason they asked me not to work with them.
And I do apologize that's pretty unfair that they're able to just let you go like that just because of you're married. I'm sure, obviously you have other talents as well. As we were talking, you were telling me how you have skills and human resources. You have skills and just connecting with people. You were telling me how obviously you were working towards getting your own podcast going. That's great because once you do get it
Yeah,
going.
I did. Yeah, I did wanted to talk about many things today. One of the basic reasons was why the girls cannot work if they got married, or like girls cannot work if they're gonna have a baby or something. People do consider them, a filthy piece if they cannot work because they're just married. I don't know how I changed the perspective of people who think that in general, because to me, it was the greatest shock that I had ever received. So I don't know how is that gonna remove? How are we gonna remove that stigma? We need to talk about it so much, I guess.
Well, just so you know, Ms. Warda, I'm down to talk about whatever you would like to talk about. You are my guest. I want you to feel comfortable and open. People in the chat room are saying good morning. I'm pretty sure some of them mean good evening as well because it is evening there in Pakistan. So, how's everybody
Yes,
doing?
it is so.
So, Warda, I just wanted to say again, I really want to thank you for being available for you to come on the podcast.
Thank you so much.
So when your job let you go, like was it did they directly like call you into an office or something, or did they like call you while you were at home or something? Like tell me about that day. Like how did that event take place?
Okay, so in February, 28th of February, I got married. And right at the second month of my marriage, I got pregnant. I was expecting. And, the health issues, I was very low on energy and I couldn't go to work and I couldn't walk. I was just totally hospitalized for like 3 months. So I do tell them that, see, I cannot come. They did favored me by telling me that, okay, they can give me leaves so that if I feel better and I come back to work. So that was going pretty well until 6th of February when I called them and I told them that I literally cannot even walk and these leaves are and not accommodable. And then they told me, and which I accept as well, because the work was suffering and I feel sorry about it. But on the other side, it was not my fault, I guess, it is tough for a female to accept leaving her, somebody leaving her, or work is leaving her just because of the physical loss, or I don't know. I feel so heavy by heart, genuinely, by while talking to it. On a very fine morning of 6th of May, I was told that I cannot come to work because I have deceived them by getting married. So I'm sorry. Okay, so this is tough. This is very tough for anybody who's listening to a girl who was only 19 years old, who was working since 16 years. When I was 16 years old, I started working, and by 19, I got married, and suddenly then I had to leave that work, and I was so low on finance, and I had nothing. I had physical losses. I had mental issues. I had physical issues. I had financial instability. Being on bed for 24/7 made me realize that no one really stays. I mean, those who danced at my wedding were not beside me when I was sick, when I needed them, when I was actually in need of mental support. I guess that was the toughest part of people telling me that, oh, we are sorry, we cannot say bye because you're not good enough for us now. I don't know, how do people get such thoughts for somebody who's trying to work just to earn the bread for her sisters, for her family, and that the job was the only thing which I could do. But still, on the other hand, I appreciate them for giving me those leaves. But something that hurted me was they telling me that I have deceived them by getting married. Do you think that, like, people who are listening to me, I want to ask them, do they believe, any girl out there or any boy, do you think that getting married stops you from doing something that you want to do? It stops you. I know I was very low on, health, but that doesn't mean that you tell me that I deceived you.
Well, Warda, first of all, I want to tell you that I'm very sorry that you experienced that. That could be very traumatic for somebody to have to, not only go through that, but also feel like that they didn't have a support system around them during that. That's the first part I want to say. Secondly, no, I do not believe getting married stops somebody from being able to do their job. A lot of times it could be beneficial for someone to have, the emotional and mental support from a spouse. They could come home and be able to, console with someone, just to be able to just connect with someone and have that back and forth. Because a lot of times the people that are single, they don't really, I mean, granted, you have connection with somebody, but it's not the same, as being married. When you're married, you have someone that you could a partner, right? And someone who you could bounce back and forth with. So I feel like people that are married probably have a better time or easier time adjusting to work. So I'm very sorry that you went through that.
Yeah, that was a tough phase of my life, but honestly, whatever I have been through in this span of months, this has changed me as a person. And the reason that I am here, and to all those who are listening to me, I do have my YouTube channel where I left this video with the title that yes, I had a miscarriage. You people need to listen to this, and then you learn what I actually want to convey.
So, Warda, I mean, I remember you told me a little bit off the record. We were talking about how what you told me was they not only did they lay you off, they fired you because you were married, but also because they found out you were pregnant as well. And you said they believed that they were going to find out that you were, because you're married. What I'm trying to say is they didn't want to rehire you because they thought you would get pregnant again.
Yes, exactly. So, 24th of May 2019, just a few months ago, I had a miscarriage, and it was pretty, like, not pretty, but very, very, very bad because a young female, to her happening a lot of things was very difficult for me. Okay, so I just called them back and I told them that, sir, this and that happened to me, and I just want to come back to work if I can because now there's no reason to get on leaves. So they told me that we are very sorry. We cannot get you back just because maybe you can get pregnant, um, you know, next time again. So the kind of thoughts that went through me and left me in a, that feeling of pity, the feeling of not feeling worthy of something. I felt like, oh my God, now I am married and I cannot do anything. I had so many thoughts running across my mind, just being a girl, being a female, being the bread earner. I had my two sisters, which I have to support, which I don't I had no idea. I know I hope you're getting my point that how conscious I'm getting while talking about it. I want to spread my words because uh to me being on uh you can say the deathbed for 3 months and having zero pennies per month. Hope you can assume the state that I have been through.
Warda, you obviously are a very strong person mentally and physically to be able to, come back from feeling that that's very defeating to go through all that all at the same time like that, and to feel like that your support system isn't as strong as it should be. So for you to be able to come back from that and be willing to come share your story, on the podcast, I'm very grateful and I'm very happy to have met you because
And
stories like this are very inspiring to me. Like when people tell me things like this, you always look at the bigger picture just from hearing someone say, I was in this position and I couldn't do this and I couldn't do this and I had this going on. And then I still came back from that. Like that's the kind of things that fires me up to hear that. That gets me excited to know that there's people out there like that are strong
yeah,
mentally enough to get through stuff like that.
yes, obviously. And to everybody who is listening to this, I just want to tell them that the kind of perspective that I had built through all these difficulties and problems and situations, the conditions that I have been through, I just kept one thing in my mind, one single code that I followed, and that was this too shall pass. I would repeat it again. This too shall pass. I know the things are bad. I knew that I am zero on finance and everything. I don't have a job. I
So, for me personally, I mean, obviously, I've on the record of saying I lost my job actually 3 weeks ago from today. So I lost my job 3 weeks ago today. So I'm very familiar with the concept of just feeling like that you just things aren't going well for you, right? But again, like you said, these things will pass. So Ward, I was just want to say thank you for your inspiration today. I just it's something that I'm gonna hopefully people that are listening to they're gonna get inspired by, and they're gonna move forward with their lives, and with a sense of gratitude and a sense of a sense of gratefulness that you it's just people just don't they take so much for granted, man. Like you take things for granted until they're gone. Like everybody thinks every
yeah, what I wanted to talk about is just I just wanted to say by using your platform, by using this podcast, breaking
that
kind of sentences where I know I speak, and I kept listening sentences like, "Oh, poor she, her baby. Oh, look at her, how weak is she? No, we don't believe she will deliver a baby." And even I heard sentences from very close people of mine that um, we don't believe she can deliver a baby or she should get it aborted. Do you think that kind of insult was well deserved? I want, I request you all to please not pass statements to girls who are trying every possible things to make you to please the world. To you cannot be too quick and judgmental. Maybe sometimes, please go out, and I request you to sit to them and listen to them what they want to talk about, what they're going through, because listening is something that is very important. Nowadays people, they keep on talking and they don't realize that somebody out there wants them to listen. Somebody wants to, the people want you to sit in front of them and ask what they're going through, ask what kind of situation or mental problems they are facing. Because at my home I only live with my husband, and he was the only person whom I had by my side, and 95% of the people left me only because I was not good at health, not good at finance. I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, or something. I couldn't please the world in actual meaning. So I would genuinely say, just please don't be quick and judgmental. Please, I request that.
I wish, when you were going through this, I wish you would have connected, months ago, because there are people around the world, obviously, that that will have welcomed you and been, open to having a conversation with you, open to connecting with you, open to just being, pen pals and being able to bounce back with each other, as far as like having someone to talk to and having someone that relates to you, and someone that actually cares, that actually able to have a conversation, someone that outside of, obviously your husband is going to be there for you, because that's what husband and wife are, but just people outside perspective, because there are people that have connected through each other, through podcasts, that are able to just hit each other up or give each other a phone call, or give somebody a text message, send somebody an email, anything. Like even on Instagram, they're able to connect with each other, and they're able to have conversations with each other, and there's connections built with people. And I just wish that
Yeah, you were right. And I would really thank you, because honestly, I never wanted to talk about this. I felt too guilty inside of me. I didn't want to talk about it, but you were the first person. Uh, I felt like that I should share it using your platform, because I believe that people should learn, people should realize that there is no age or accurate time of being married and having a baby. It's all in your head. And please stop telling girls or men out there that this or that is the age. I'm talking about the the curses the marriage get. Oh, you're gonna get married too early. This is too early for you to get married, or things like that. I want to ask you, you have no control over telling somebody a good age, a good time of being a mother. I was disgraced with sentences like that. I have deceived them by getting married. Oh, please, you out there, listen to me very, very, very carefully. There is no time of getting, there are no accurate time of getting married. It is how responsible you are, how responsible is your partner, and how you're going to survive. That is the only thing. Don't let people don't let people control you by such statements.
I just want to I just want to say that you are absolutely 100% correct. There should be a timetable on when people get married. I mean, a lot of times, one thing I've noticed is that people look at social media and they look at other people's lives, and they see how other people's lives are going, and they feel like, oh, well, they're married, they have kids, they have this, they have that, maybe that's where I need to be at with my life. That's how they feel. They see these things and they're like, oh, that's where I need to be at. But that's not true. Everyone will be where they're supposed to be at in life, and there's nothing or nobody that's live you're supposed to mimic or impersonate. Everything that's for you will happen when the time comes. Don't speed up your life just because you see someone else that's around your age living a certain way or have a certain thing going on for them. You're not going to ever be happy doing that. And that's one of the main reasons that social media could be a curse, because people see people's lives that live the same, that are around the same age as them, and they get a little bit sad, or they get anxiety, or they get depressed because their life is not the same as theirs. So I agree 100% with what you're saying about marriage and telling people when and how to get married.
Yeah, you're right. Because for me, it took me so many days to motivate myself to share my stories. I mean, not for many, but for someone somewhere listening to this, because I believe this will change many lives, and this is going to leave an impact because enough of pity and looking back into the past.
So, Ward, I want to really thank you for taking time out of your busy life to come have a conversation with me. I know it's 8:30 at night there. I know a lot of times, people start winding down a little bit around that time. So I wanted to ask you, is there any last, words of encouragement you want to give the people, or any last things of advice?
Yeah, I just wanted to say losing a complete health and going through a miscarriage has recently made me a braver person with full of thankfulness because, without hardships and darkest pains, we cannot truly celebrate dancing in the light. I mean, how does it feel to dance in the light? And this is something that I have never believed before, but today I do believe that. And thank you so much for having me. The kind of person the encouragement you have showed is like so much. And I request people to just take some time and do listen to stories. There are many like me.
So, Warda, before we get out of here, I want you to go ahead and give people your Instagram handle. Tell them where they can find you at, just in case if they want to reach out to you. And
Yeah, sure. So my YouTube channel is Warda Waseem. This is WARDAWASEEM, right? And my Instagram handle is of the same name. So you can find me over there. You can come to me and we can talk about whatever you want because by using this platform, we are just talking about to stop the stigma.
uh, again, Warda, I really do appreciate you reaching out to me. I hope that we could connect more in the future. We could work together more, and we can have more great conversations. When you do launch your podcast, I do very much hope that it's very successful and a lot of people listen to it and that their lives are positively affected from the words that you have to share and the wisdom that you will instill upon them.
Well, yes, thank you very much. People like you are so awesome. If you are ready to listen, if the world is ready to listen, hopefully, I'm going to share my stories. I'm going to share many, many much, and I would love to work with you.
Okay, see, everybody, we gonna work something out. All right, we gonna figure something out. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
sure. I would love that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
all right. So you guys, again, if you're listening back to this, I appreciate you for listening to the podcast. You guys subscribe to it on Spotify, Apple, Podbean, Stitcher. I mean, iHeartRadio. The podcast is available to you everywhere. So again, I look forward to talking to you guys again in the future.